Welcome, hello, and welcome everybody. It's SoccerBeat, another episode jam-packed with transfers, latest news, and all things that you like and things that you comment about on our social media. Please follow us and like everything that we do at SoccerBeat ZA on YouTube, Twitter, which is called X nowadays, Facebook, and everywhere else that you interact on social media. My name is Umjaka, the editor of SoccerBeat. I'm hanging out with legends, Cheezboy Mokoena, Michael Morton, and Tsepo Masilela. We've got an exciting show, gents. We're talking about your ex-clubs, Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs. Of course, we're zooming in on a different type of topic today. We're talking big squads and small squads. You know, you guys have experienced big squads and small squads. I'm going to kick off things. We want to talk about, how it affects the morale of the team. Does it keep you on your toes, to perform? I want to get that out of you and find out, I'm sure the fans will also want to know how it feels like to compete in a big squad, even in a small squad, how you manage yourself throughout the season. I'm going to start with you, Cheesy. You came from the academy, going into a big club like Orlando Pirates, walking into a squad that's packed with talent, of course, experience, and of course, every season Pirates used to sign big players as well. How does that feel as an academy player coming up and joining a team like that?
Yeah, well, for me it was exciting times, getting promoted to the first team, and also I think the advantage was that where we trained in Mayfair, the first team was training on the A field, so we could actually see them, so we could see the ins and outs and how the first team is working. So that made it a little bit easier for some of us to actually look how the things are done, and also looking at the big squad that they had, because I mean, if you at a big club, you expected to have a big squad because you are competing in all four fronts. There's the cups, there's the Champions League. So that's the reason why I think the big teams always have a big squad. A bit challenging, but it's because of the workload ahead of the season.
Does it cause any problems, Mike? You guys, as the young group coming into the team, does it worry the young guys? Does it worry you as a young person also joining a team like that?
Yeah, look, sometimes, especially when you come into a team and there's a massive squad, it just feels like that first team is so far away. Like, it's actually one of the main reasons that I eventually ended up going to ask to go on loan, because I just looked at all the quality in front of me in the queue and I thought, there's no ways I'm breaking into this Pirates team. I mean, there were just so many good midfielders ahead of me, and I thought, if I'm going to wait for my turn here, it's just not going to happen. And I think a lot of the time, guys they'll wait to their turn, and sometimes it never happens, and that can be the end of their career. When there's
Yes.
these big clubs where there's just so much quality, and that's why I chose to step out of Pirates and go on loan, because I just saw the writing on the wall was for me. To rather move on because the squad size was too big for me.
And it's tough to play in the engine. It's usually captains or the star of the team is always in those central positions, Mike. There were times, of course, Pirates were always the almost team at the time that you guys came in, it would be the Soweto derbies where Pirates would really shine, but trophies and winning the league was not happening. What role did it play, Cheesy, in stopping you guys from being successful that time?
I'd say when I got promoted, and I got promoted the season that the team won the league, which was under Coach
Exactly.
Barreto. But then
Yeah.
the supporters are not happy because he won the league, but he was just not playing the type of football that Amaparani are used to, They
Correct.
used to
Correct.
creativity, good passing, scoring goals, high intensity game, but he did not deliver that. And I think they requested the chairman to release the coach, But being part of that group, you know, um, actually gave me courage to believe that, okay, there is an opportunity to win trophies here because it is a big club. But unfortunately, at my stay at Pirates, I've always became a runner-up. I think I got 4 runners-up medals of the league and stuff. So, and the season that I left, then the team starts to win the treble and stuff. So I
So
was just
you were the problem,
unfortunate.
Chief.
I was just unfortunate,
Like,
Mikey. I was just unfortunate, But I think I got promoted thinking that the chances of winning the league are there because I wanted to be part of a winning team because why I never played when I got promoted. So I was just looking at the guys and assessing everything. And so I was waiting for my opportunity to play and actually win the league, and it did not happen. I mean, we came out with Costa, we did it twice, with Rudy Kroll, we did it. And So yeah, so I had to move on and try and venture out and see if I can actually get this medal.
You're not there now, Mikey, of course, but what might have been the difference in your time with Cheesy in that team not being successful, and what are they doing right now? Because they're winning the titles and they still got a big squad.
Yeah, so it's all about the way they manage the squad and the way that I suppose you communicate with the guys that are not playing. It also helps that they're challenging on they're playing in different cup competitions. Then guys feature in different competitions. The problem is when you're playing in 3 different competitions, but the same 11 plays all the time, then you will end up with the divisions where the guys that are not playing and the guys that are playing. But if you're still in the squad and you're still featuring every now and again, maybe you're a cup specialist or they're using you in Africa, then there's always that carrot that's dangling there that still to train well, to keep pushing. But when you're completely on the outskirts, I mean, when we were there under Rudy Kroll, I think the season he won the treble, I think he used something like 15 players. So the guys that were not playing regularly or weren't playing at all, it becomes difficult to stay motivated and to stay being like a good team member because just the idea that you're not even going to feature in the weekend, it becomes very tough as a professional.
I was on the sidelines with you, Mikey, behind the goal post.
We're there, brother. We're eating drumsticks.
Yo, so it just works on you, man. Where, like what Mikey's saying, it takes me back because as a player, you want to see yourself taking part, in terms of the success of the club. And when you're not featured and you get a coach that always sticks to his 15, like he said, Rudy Kroll just had his 15 players and he was not going to change for anyone, whether it be the cup game, whether it be you playing a small team, he's going to stick to his 11, and that made our chances very slim, and that causes also a bad vibe in the camp in terms of amongst the players because now we start chapping on the side that that one is the coach's favorite. Let's mind how we talk because sometimes as players it's no bambi corner and be like, I'm telling the guy that is always playing, then he tells the coach because in pimp is corner coach, coach, Tsepo uthi wamdlalisa akanandaba. You understand? And you start seeing manje ukuthi sewutripwa kabuhlungu yabo. So those are the dynamics that we face, man. It's a huge challenge, especially being part of a big squad.
You mentioned Mbimbi there, Cheesy. An interesting word, Mbimbi, because they go to the coach and tell, but there were a different type of Mbimbi at Pirates that we hear about. There were other people that were not playing, but were the elders, for a lack of a better word. How was their influence as Mbimbi or the chairman's eyes or the coach's eyes over the team?
Let me tell you guys something. When I before I left with Rudy Kroll, there was a situation. I'm not going to mention the player's name. Okay, he was one of the senior guys. He had just came in, and I did a session with the coach. So I'm busy doing a slalom in and out. So I'm doing my exercise perfectly. But now the coach targets me because you are always a target. When you're not playing, you're a target that you're not doing well. You always get discouraged, that, no, do it again. No, do it again. No, 2 more laps, So I did it. Then I turned back, I tell the guys, get out of it. But right. I'm doing this thing properly. Now this guy is telling me I must do it again. Okay, let me go again. I don't complain, I do it. And then he said to me, if you want to train, go to the office and don't come back up until you've spoken to Mr. Mbele at that time, Floyd. And I'm like, no, I can't go speak to Floyd, man. I need to go speak to the chairman. That's the guy that gave me this opportunity to be here. So he understands me better, so I can't go speak to Floyd. Now, before I left the session, I told the coach where to get off in Venek because he's from Holland, right? So I don't think he would have understood what I said, but he would have seen my reaction like, okay, no, it's fine. So I called him whatever that I called him at that time. So this guy that I'm telling you about, now he tells the coach, do you know what this guy just said? He said 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and I'm like, how? I didn't believe it. I'm like, I have so much respect for this guy. He's a Bafana player, he came to the club to come and help us win trophies and stuff. And all of a sudden, he's crushing all of the development players. Like literally, all of us from the development were really crushed by that guy. These boys don't want to work. These boys are spoiled. And so that also affected the likes of Mike and them getting opportunity in the first team, So we have those kind of players, season fit. And I corrected that. They must be head off.
What position did he play, Mike? Just give us the position that he played, Kechizi.
I was playing Mikey's position. That's why I was fighting.
We feel the thoughts. We feel the thoughts.
You
Mikey.
guys, you. Serious.
But Mikey, you guys were
the viewers at home must feel in the thoughts.
This is Cheezy's story. Let him tell you who it is.
You guys were development players. I mean, you would have expected like Palacios to speak for you guys, Mikey. Did you have that hope coming into the team that at least you have Palacios? He's gonna push for you guys, Mike.
Look, my situation was a little bit different to Cheesy and them. I hadn't really featured in the first team. Whereas like Cheesy, Dugu, Gift, those guys like they were already, they were crowd favorites already. The fans loved him. I was a little bit different where I was still coming in. I never really featured as much for the first team, so there was no really expectation from my side to play regular. But I can understand where Cheese and those guys were coming from, because I mean, even when you're speaking about these guys at that time with Kroll, who the guy was sitting with us as well was Opa Manisa, who was sitting with us as well, crying on the side as well. It wasn't just the academy guys. There was a lot of good players sitting on the side of the field not playing.
Yeah, that's the nature of a big squad. You guys had it different at Chiefs. A little bit smaller, the squad, but you brought the results.
Yes, you're right. The squad was a little bit smaller, and we did bring the results. But it's always the case. If you're not playing and, you don't go, let alone play, you don't get to travel with the team to the, you're not in the 20-man squad. Obviously, as a player, you're there to play. And once that happens, and it happens over and over again, you start to moan and groan, and you're not happy. How can you be happy if you're not playing? Because you're there to play. So it's a normal reaction, normal feeling that, you won't be happy if you left out of the squad. But yeah, with Coach Stuart, he was more also the coach that had his 16 guys, So it was tough for the other guys to break into the team. And Wes, if the team is winning, what do you go and say to the coach as a player? You've got no ground to stand on. The team, your coach will ask you, but the team is winning. Wait for your chance, and you don't know when is that chance coming. So it's tough for us players to understand and not moan and groan. And obviously there'll be divisions, as time goes by. As Cheezy said, the guys that are not playing, they'll look at you as the coach's son, like, oh, the coach likes you. There's those small anyana talks on the sides, but it's part of the game. And but it's you feel for the guys that are not playing, because at the same time, it's the coach's decision. The coach makes the call. The coach picks the team, and sometimes to be honest with you, you can see a guy's buzzing at trainings. It's like, hey, this guy, man. Maybe Nyana 15 minutes, but you can't go and say, Coach, 50. Then the coach will say, oh, you want to go home, and I'll take the guy. It's always a tough one, but again, coaches differ, and it's about how you manage the squad.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes there's cup games where you get the second choice keeper, and they make 5-6 changes. But again, the guys, they know it keeps everyone on toes. If we lose, it's a cup game. You lose, you go home. So it's your chance to play, and you just don't have to play. You have to play, win, so you progress. You have the next game, so you have a chance again. If you win and go to the next round, you have a chance again to play. So it's really tough. It's really tough, but it is what it is. It's part of the game.
Yeah, tips. What I liked about Stuart.
It's part of the game, my guy. I'm fit. I think that's why I've got less games, because I've been in that situation for even when I got to Sundowns, before I left, I was in that same boat again. It took me to the underfield ground, and I'm like, oh God, here we go again. And when I'm watching, I'm back to that phase again. Oh,
sure. Were you vocal to the coach when you're not playing, Cheesy?
Yes, of course. I coach. It was Coach Pitso, Coach Manova, Coach Rolani, Coach Pants. And then I engaged with the coach. Coach, what's the reason? Then the coach told me, okay, Sharp, you just came back from injury. I need you to be fit. What? Fine. Follow the steps. Get fit. Play friendly games. Do well, like Tsepo said, at training, buzzing. And then Friday, when you're gonna have to go check the team that is going to camp in the change room, I would actually walk the last into the change room because I'm like, hey, Konjamin, Norman
Yeah.
3 goals this week in the sessions, but I don't see my chances. Then when I walk in, you just see the guys' heads go down like this. Hey, don't even have to
Tsepo,
shower,
wasn't it
get in the
worrying?
car, go home.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't it worrying
and
though,
to add,
Tsepo? Having that
and
small
to add,
squad. Hey, sorry, sir, you want to add?
yeah, to add on what Chief is saying, on Fridays, if the game is on Saturday, everyone come to training and you have to bring your training, your camp uniform, like the stuff,
Yeah.
what you're gonna wear. But the guys that haven't made the team for the past 5 games, they will leave their clothes at home. Like, you end up losing hope. Like you don't have
Yeah.
hope. You just come on a Friday with your boots. and you're praying the coach must not catch you with a huge surprise. Now, after training, we have to jump in the bus. Where's your uniform? You end up losing hope.
I had to go
Sure.
fetch mine, Tsepo. I had to go fetch mine. The same thing you are saying. I gave up. Guys, everyone bring your clothing and stuff. I was like, why
Yeah.
am I taking my clothes? Anyway, I'm not gonna go to camp.
You're not
For the
going to
past
play.
4 or 5 games, very lemgonya le iti I lost on bona.
Yeah.
I walk in the change room. I'm in the 20-man squad. The guys are clapping. Hey, no, jeez, come back. What? I'm like, oh, and I'm like, guys, I'm coming back now. Went back home, come back, came back. Then when I came back, the bus was already waiting, so the coach could pick up that I'd really left my clothes and stuff.
Sure.
But at the back of my
Hey,
mind, I'm thinking, but this is 20-man squad and it's a home game. I'm going to the stand, la.
but how about the injuries, Tsepo? I mean, at a club like Chiefs, especially, the stories of big players that go to the left, by the they get focused for 10 games. After 10 games, because the fans are talking about them, they derail. Wasn't that worrying, having a small squad, that one of the guys might lose focus and then you won't have anyone on the bench who can step up? Injuries as well.
No, Caesar, when you're playing, that's not your worries. The coaches was. But again, because we build a team spirit, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. You try and encourage the guys that are not playing.
Yeah.
When he's playing, they will try and encourage. If I'm playing regularly. You try and encourage the guys, and cause we're more like a family. But of course, there's injuries, there's suspensions, there's whatever things happen. So the coach, it goes back to the coach again, how the coach manages the squad, to
Yeah,
keep
that's
to keep
what I
everyone
felt that
to
Stuart
keep
did very
everyone
well
ready.
with us. I mean, obviously, I had him at SuperSport as well. Is that he knew how to manage the squad very well. Even the guys that weren't playing regularly, like the day after the game, where the other
Yeah.
guys would be doing recovery, like Stuart would be taking that session with the guys
That
that had not
session,
played.
yes.
So he would be heavily involved and he would be pushing the guys who aren't playing. Where I've been with other coaches where that recovery day, the next day, he gives all the other players to like the fitness coach just to make them run or to run up and down. But with Stuart, like he kept you involved. He kept the balance of the team. Like he'd keep
Nice.
saying to you, like keep pushing, work on this, work on that, so that when
Yeah.
you like when your chance comes, you'll be ready. But I've been with a lot of coaches. Cheesy will know. Kroll was the same. When we weren't
Oh,
playing and you weren't involved in that game, they'd make you do those 200-meter runs, 6 of
oh.
them every time
Punishment.
after
Now
you
that
hadn't been playing, and you knew that when you
yeah,
came to training the next day after a game, you were just gonna run, and he wouldn't even be there to watch you. He would just give you to the fitness trainer and say, "Make them run."
that now that you mentioned that, Mike, because you went on loan, in those times there was not what's going on now. I know at Sundowns they've got a coach that monitors players that are on loan. Did you feel like you were being monitored when you're on loan, when you had left Pirates on loan?
Not really, to be honest, because I actually had a really good season for. I went to Wits, and we actually
Yeah.
that year we won the Nedbank Cup.
Yes.
We finished in the top 5 or top 6.
Hmm.
And then then I came back for the following preseason again, and then they basically sent me straight back out on loan again. So I don't know. I thought I'd done really well, and I thought when I came back that maybe I was gonna at least try to show myself in preseason, but it didn't
Yeah.
work out that way.
Hey, yeah, I'm always wondering about that because there was not much data out there at the time. Tsepana, the role of a person like Dr. Kumalo, you know, I think in one of the shows previously we talked about foreign coaches. In this case, it would be Stuart Baxter, who have an assistant who's local, who knows the club, the culture, and stuff. Was it the same with Doctor? How was his influence in the team?
No, he had a big influence. There's, players, local players that join Chiefs or you make it from the academy. We all know who Dr. Kumalo is, what he's done for South African football. He won the AFCON, in '96. So it's always nice to have a guy like that, someone local that probably, if you're not comfortable with going to the coach, you know there's someone that you can go to, a coach like Doctor. So it was very important to have him in the team, and he played a very huge role.
Oh man, I'm sure the Chiefs fans are loving to hear that. It didn't disrupt like many other local coaches are assumed to do. Like they are the eyes of the chairman or something like that. So I'm sure that's something the fans love to hear. Let's go to an ad break and come back with a little bit more. We'll zone in into a little bit of what Cheese spoke about, Sundowns. The dungeon, as many people like to call. Let's take an ad break and come back with more.
Lebu is stretching out and reaching high in Betway's latest game, Aviator.
Aviator?
Place a bet and the plane flies higher and higher. Pick the right time to cash out and you could win millions.
Millions?
Let's see.
Just, woo! It's a shoe! He's cashed out and flown off with the wind.
All at the luckiest place to play, Aviator, Betway.
And we're back. I'm still hanging out with Mike, Tsepo, and Cheesy. Very fortunate. My name is Umjaka. We talked a little bit about Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, their experiences. The guys, Tsepo's experience with Chiefs, of course, had trophies. Mike and Cheesy had to work a little bit harder. Mike going on loan, of course, and then Cheesy also not being able to break into that team regularly and finding some joy at Sundowns. But your joy was also short-lived at Sundowns because you arrived there. There were plenty of you that were signed in that season as well. There was a group of you. You were joining a team that already had players already, Cheesy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, joining Sundowns, you're always going to be faced with stiff competition. I think when I arrived there, Spuso Zuma had just also got into the club. Zovi Lagazi. They actually gotten most of our SA internationals from overseas to come back and play for Sundowns.
Yeah.
Matthew Booth, your Lerato Shabangus, so all the quality players were there, So for me, it was about a fresh start, because I knew some of the guys from the national team, Abu Surprise, Abu Voyo, Abu Ace. So it wasn't going to be difficult for me to actually merge into the team, So yes, I started off well, got the opportunity and I took charge of it, I think it only happened probably on my 7th season at the club. I think that's when it was a bit of a fallout. Obviously, I had a career-threatening injury in 2012 under Nieskens. So I took about 8 months to 9 months to get really back. I came back the 2013 season. Halfway through, I think that's when we helped Coach Pitso with the guys, Surprise, Lafo, Pelembe, Kennedy Mweni. Those guys were not even playing because the coach had also brought in Kama Billiard, Kabet Malajila, Katlego Mauta, so competition is always stiff at that club, So obviously, as a player, you might start off well, first 2-3 seasons. Okay, I not like these nowadays players. So one season, next season, now some board. So we were like more 3, 4, 5 seasons in a row doing what we're doing, and then obviously, just like life, there comes a time where you guys gonna hit a bit of a slump. So I think that's what happened as well, and due to injuries as well, But then you are taken down to the dungeon, to sort yourself out, and not a happy place at all, because you know that when it's like that, it's either you are on your way out or you might just hope for a miracle that the coach says, okay, Sharp, no, I think I might need him for the following season, So with me, with the discussion with Coach Pitso, we sat down and explained to him that, look, I've lost my position in the national team, number one. I'm not playing regularly. That's why I can't even get a call-up. So I think what's going to be best is that I maybe leave the club. They asked me to take a loan. I said I don't want a loan because when I commit to a team, I want to commit fully. I don't want to be there and thinking about after 6 months I still have to move back, So I
Yeah.
took that opportunity with Coach Peter and said, no, listen, Coach, you promised to register me for the Champions League, and it did not happen. And that's what I was preparing myself for the whole season, because we did not play
Yeah.
in the league games a lot. Because you said that, no, guys, I'm going to need your experience in the Champions League. But that didn't work out. Maybe the coach felt he's got a bit of changes he has to make to the team. And yeah, that's how it ended at Downs, because I decided, no, guys, I think it's time. I want to enjoy my career. I'm fit as a footballer. I don't want to be sitting there
No.
earning good money. And then what? People forget about you. You're also going to sit back and be like, I should have played. I should have what? I could have,
Yeah.
should have, will never work. Get onto the field of
Sure.
play, enjoy your career, man. And if you play, you'll make the money. I always believe that in my whole career, that the more I play, the more blessings and good things that will come.
Tsepana, about the guys who don't play, then how do you guys manage to keep them excited, to keep them involved, or do you not care because you're only caring about yourself playing?
So it's not a case of we don't care. As I said, we're a family, we're brothers. But at the end of the day, when you join a team, you go and sign the contract, you alone or you with your agent. So
Yeah.
you must, as much as we are family now, end of the season they always release players, new players come, and it's part of the game. But as I said before, if there's cup competition and the coach decides, we can talk and say this and that, but the coach is the one that makes the decision. But for
Sure.
us, we try and motivate, encourage, and try give them the belief that their chance is coming. And obviously, that doesn't depend on us.
Yeah.
I can say a chance is coming, and you end up not playing for the whole season.
Sure.
Tomorrow there can be an injury at training, and you find yourself straight from not making the squad to the starting 11. These are the things we talk about that day. Don't just think it's all over. As long as the season is on, anything can happen in football. There's guys that they haven't featured for the past 5 games. They don't make the 20-man squad, and all of a sudden you're in the starting 11. So and
Sure.
again, as an individual, you have to take care of your career. Because as I said, you signed alone. We didn't go there as 5 guys to say, I came here with cheese. And when they all release, it's
Sure.
also as a responsibility of us as players to be professional. We're professionals. As
Yeah.
much as things don't go your way all the time. But what you must remember is that we are a professional. So you must try
Sure.
and behave as a professional.
Mikey, being in that team, in that dungeon team, the guys who basically have to do those laps. I'm sure there's some guys who are despondent. They feel. Do they try to rub it off on you and say, Mike, you're trying to be too focused. You're trying to impress the coach because they are despondent and they've lost hope.
It does happen. I mean, it almost like like crabs in a bucket. Like when the guys try to crawl out, they say, I want to be professional. I want to do my best. And then the guys that are not featuring, they're like, oh, now you want to try hard. Now you want to try like show the coach or whatever. And the guys want to sort of pull you back. It does become difficult when you have a big group of guys that are unhappy. That's why a lot of coaches, I think, opt to go for the smaller squads where everyone is involved, because then you have buy-in from everyone that they all on the same. The problem is when you have the big squad and you have a group of unhappy players, you can get a bit of a toxic mentality there. But just a story about coaches when they sort of take you out of the squad. When I was at Maritzburg, Middendorp used to do this quite a lot. He likes to play with you mentally. And what he used to do to some guys, and he did this to me personally, is that he at the beginning of the week, with him, you can always see it when he's lining up his team, who's going to play. And on the Monday, I could see that he had taken me out and I wasn't going to play. And he does it to test the mentality, and he wanted to see what I'm going to do. And I was so angry. I just started running around and I was biting and tackling and kicking everything. And then by like Tuesday or Wednesday, he sort of called the guys together. He's like, no, I tested him, ready for the game. He's back in again. So there's a lot of times where coaches sometimes they just test you like that now. And they'll take you out and they want to see how you're going to respond. And a lot of guys will say, stuff this, I'm not going to try anymore. And then they sort of bury themselves. So it's you always got to, there's that fine balance.
Cheesy, you feel like you want to mention some names of some guys who were like, you see, who had those.
I think okay. Yabona ebholeni ne, yabona chite ebhola awanavanga. That I can tell
Sure.
you. It's only a
Yeah.
few, you know. That's
Yeah.
why even today we still have friendships with some of those people, because as a footballer, I believe that it's a team effort, it's teamwork. The
Yeah.
guys that are helping you train the starting 11 are part of the team as well. You understand? I'm preparing you for the game, rightfully. So I demand the same share as you are getting, because I don't select the team. Okay?
Sure.
I was like that. I demand the same. I'm showing you what the winger is coming, is gonna do this. So I work on you during the week. Weekend it becomes easier for you. Now you get the bonus. You don't want to share the cake. No, share the cake, my guy. You know.
Preparing.
Yeah, okay. I'm busy with the full back, or maybe because sometimes with the coach would put me maybe as a right back or so, or maybe in central midfield or as a 10. You know. So it's about me getting the guys ready. Never mind my situation, but when I'm at work, like you're saying, we're professionals. I work, and then I know that my chance will come. As much as other guys, when they see that the coach says, take the beep from Mikey on a Wednesday. Now the guys are assuming, hey, Cheesy, you are leaving us behind here in the dungeon. It means you are in this weekend. You know? So they're starting to hit you like, you're also going to change and be those guys now. Yeah, you've been with us. Now things are looking up. How? You don't even come and say hi. What's happening, Cheesy? Because maybe this weekend is starting.
You've changed.
Yeah, they say that, but hey, Tsepo Chinchi, the fan, since you coach at Beep Wednesday. Yeah, you no longer sit with us on the table for lunch. What's happening? It's like, no, the coach said, don't sit with those ones there, man. Don't worry, they're gonna poison you.
No.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
No, I love it. Let's take another short break and check out the competition. We're giving away a fantastic prize for you guys. Check it out. It's another week and another giveaway right here on SoccerBeat. And this week, once again, we're giving away 6 brand new Kaizer Chiefs jerseys by Kappa. 6 Kaizer Chiefs jerseys by Kappa up for grabs right here on SoccerBeat. Subscribe and comment below with your answer to the latest question. Remember, standard T's and C's apply. You must be a subscriber to qualify. As you can see in the competition, six Kappa jerseys from Kaizer Chiefs up for grabs for all you Amakosi fans. Six that you can get your hands on this week. Every week we'll be giving away 6 jerseys from Kaizer Chiefs, the brand new Kaizer Chiefs jersey by Kappa. So please log on, subscribe to @SoccerBeat on YouTube, comment as much as you can, like and subscribe. Tell us how much you love Amakosi. Check out the competition. The question was shared with you. Also, check out our social media. If you missed it, check out our social media. We'll reshare it there as well. Finally, guys, we've got comments from the viewers. Of course, a lot of fans are talking about Kaizer Chiefs because Kaizer Chiefs are still looking for talent, guys. It's not entirely our fault. I've noted you, McLean Shilenge, who's saying we talk a lot about Chiefs on the show, but he also suggests some players himself, talking about Zungu, very close to signing for Chiefs at the moment. Tsepana, do you think it's going to happen? Because Chiefs have been dragging their feet.
If you say they've been dragging their feet, then it gives me worries if it's going to happen. No, but to be honest, the guy has been free for the past, I don't know, 2 months or, So if they wanted the deal to happen, maybe they were waiting for the coach. The coach is here now. He's seen the squad. Surely if they want him by now, they should be talks. With the agent or with the player himself, because he's free. Like it's not a case of they have to go via the team. So I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. But looking at it's quiet regarding Zoom and Chiefs, or maybe they behind closed doors. Yeah, in the background there somewhere, but I don't know.
And
it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, but we'll never know. In football, you'll never know these things.
Mikey and the Angolan Inacio Miguel, does it sound like Chiefs are signing a big star? Because there's glowing reports coming out about him. He's a winner as well. You know what I mean? is he the type of player? Does it give you that feeling that Chiefs are making a statement?
To be honest, I'm not too familiar with him. But yeah, my big worry with Chiefs is that, like Seps is saying, they are dragging their feet on a couple of signings. I saw Mayo's agent come out, I think today or yesterday, saying that they were a couple seconds late in submitting an offer for Mayo, and he had already signed in North Africa. And when I listen to things like that, I'm just thinking that, are they going to get these deals over the line? It makes you start to worry. When you're saying that Zungu deal's they've been chatting to him for ages. You're talking about Mayo, they've missed out. I know that I've seen another story today with Velibayi from Cape Town Spurs, my teammate, where they're struggling to get to terms with Spurs as well. I just hope that Chiefs sort out the business, because a lot of deals are on the table, but nothing's really going through at the moment.
Stellenbosch also struggling to get your captain, Kumani, at the moment, making a bid that's unsatisfactory. How is that going? I mean, is Stellenbosch serious about Kumani?
Yeah, from what I hear, they are. But our bosses, and rightly so, they have a certain value that they want these clubs to hit to get these guys, and they've put these price tags on their heads, and I think the clubs that are putting in these offers are well aware of how the club values these guys. So they're definitely not going to be letting them go on the cheap. They know that they are youngsters. Chumani and Asa are both big talents for the future, and they've got age on their side. And I think, if the guys want them, and Spurs have set the price tag, then the guys have to come and hit that price tag. Otherwise, the Spurs are not going to sell.
No, Mikey, cross your fingers, Mikey. Cross your fingers, Mikey. I'm sure you still need the boys. Yeah? I'm sure you still need the boys.
We need a pin code. Get the wrong pin code, Cheesy. You know that you told me about the wrong pin code.
Let's start out with some fantastic, some funny stories, guys, of some experiences that you did experience, whether you were part of the dungeon family, for lack of a better word, or you were part of the first team, where a guy used to moan. One or two guys that you can mention. I'll start with you, Tsepan.
When I was not part of the dungeon family, being part of the team, even at Amazulu when I was not playing regular, but I was part of the team, training and but you do hear guys that I haven't featured in a while. They go to a point where they wish you guys that you can lose. You're like, oh, but you are my teammate, brother. What are you saying now? Like guys would wish you guys to lose. Like I'm not leave out here. Like you ask yourself, are you against or winners, brother? But it's the frustration. But it's the frustrations. It gets to the guys and it gets to players. Players are human beings also, and they react differently.
Sure, Mikey. Any stories?
No, just gives me flashbacks to when Gordon was coaching me at SuperSport. I'll never forget. We had a team talk the one day, and he came and he was talking about me in a team talk. He said, "Michael Morton, what a professional, what a player, versatile, can play in every position. He's a dream. Every coach will want to have you in his team." And then on the weekend, he dropped me from the squad. He was just buttering me up. Meanwhile, he was about to kill me.
Cheesy, you got something for us, Cheesy?
I've had a couple of guys. I've had a couple of guys, that sulking. I call them, you are sulking. That's when you come to training and you know already that you're not going to be part of the team. Already, you just lose focus, you lose the determination, So I came across a lot of guys. I can tell you a story about. He's now a coach, Mabuti Kanyeza. I'm sure Nyamazu Spear is just not. It's likely. So I think the coach was going to start with. I think with Kila, right?
Yeah.
So Mabuti sees this thing during the week. I think it was on a Wednesday. The coach started preparing the team on Wednesday. Immediately, Spear is like, "No, coach, I want a meeting. No, hey, fine." Guess what Spear did when he got into the meeting, Buffett? And I don't advise any player to do that because he's so short-tempered. He walks in and he's like, he goes by his waist. He pulls out something shiny. He puts it on the table. He said, "Boom, coach, Why am I not playing? No, Mabuti, no. It's because I tried this one. No. Guess what happened? The weekend, Mabuti started the game. Yeah. What Mabuti first? Nami ngizolala into ameshisayo nami ngifike ngiyibeke ngithi coach wangadlali nami.
I think that's a good one. I think that's an excellent way to sign out, gents. Thank you very much, Tsepo. Thank you very much, Mikey. Thank you very much, Cheesy. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, follow us at SoccerBeat ZA everywhere on social media. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to enter the competition. You need to comment below. Leave your answer below on this episode. Thank you very much, gents. Once again, it was a pleasure chatting to you. My name is Umjaka. Let the beat do the talking.
Okay. Kamina kawena. It's a give and take.
SoccerBeat, what?